I think this channel, this Minds.com channel, and my Facebook page and Twitter feed and my email has now become some kind of clearinghouse for lots and lots of people in America who want me to know that white people commit crimes too. So every time there's this white guy, usually missing a few teeth, accused of some crime somewhere, that gets sent to me with a rather indignant note wanting to know why I'm not covering the white crime and violence in this country. Well, we do cover it. We do cover it all the time when we say this, that black violence, black criminality is wildly out of proportion. That black crime and criminality and violence against white people, old people, young people, gay people, straight people, Amish, Eskimos, kitties, puppies, and turtles, it's wildly out of proportion. So we're not saying white people are committing crimes. We're just saying if you have 100 white people on this side of the street, 100 black people on that side of the street, we know that one side of the street, the likelihood of crime and violence is going to be many, many, many times greater. Capiche? Even so, having said that, there are just some crimes that I just never get clips on saying white people are doing it too. I never get clips saying white guys are breaking into the homes of old white ladies and robbing them, beating them, and raping them. Raping them. So if you have any of those clips, could you send it along? They kind of look like this.
Cary police are looking for a man they say is armed and dangerous. Authorities have warrants out for 35-year-old Antoine Lamar Dennis. He's accused of breaking into a senior living home and sexually assaulting an older woman over the weekend. Gloria Rodriguez is live in Cary. Gloria, we never expect our loved ones in assisted living to be targeted like this.
Yes, it's just horrible, John. And Cary police say they are aggressively looking for the suspect. They say he may have a gun, and they're urging anybody who has seen him to contact authorities immediately. We have a picture of that man that police are looking for. He is Antoine Davis, and police say they found a surveillance image of Dennis at a nearby retail store. Cary police believe he broke into an elderly woman's home and raped her. Police say he also took off with cash. This happened after midnight Saturday at Woodland Terrace. That's a senior citizen community. The property manager says he's taking extra steps to secure the neighborhood, restricting entry to the building, changing access codes, and adding another security guard. And residents are reacting to what happened in their community.
I was surprised, very surprised.
Goodness, well, I'm going to lock my door for sure.
I think I will arm myself with some pepper spray, maybe.
You can imagine how scary this is for residents. Now, police want to remind everybody to always lock your doors, lock your windows. And of course, if you have seen that man, contact Cary police.
You know, every college in America has a black studies department, a critical studies department, where they all produce the same material, study the same stuff. They surprisingly come up with the same result. The result is that black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything, especially why cops are always picking on black people for doing things like burglarizing an old lady's house, beating her, and raping her. Yet if you bring a speaker onto the campus that will produce even a slightly different point of view, get students and faculty out there saying, no, we are not going to hear that point of view, and we will shut this place down rather than allow it to be expressed. I mean, if you can't even talk about it, how is a professor going to do, this is what professors do, right? They submit proposals to do research on this stuff. How is anybody even going to have the nerve to submit a proposal saying, hey, Colin, we'd like to study this whole black on old white woman rape and robbery thing? Because there's this guy named Colin Flaherty who says it's wildly out of proportion. Can we have some money to study that, if for no other reason than we can shut that big mouth Colin down? Nobody's studying that. Nobody's looking at that. There's only been one article on black on senior old white ladies. And it says, yeah, there's, when there's an old white lady who is raped, it's usually a black thing, and there's usually some kind of white rage involved. And that was more than a couple of years ago. I mean, since then, have things got more or less hostile on campus to people who want to to people who want to break the prevailing ideology about black victimization? Well, the answer is, of course, more hostile. There's less people, fewer people studying anything outside of the Black Lives Matter dictums. God, it's amazing how many people just totally abandon any pretense of using their discipline to look at the world. Any of the economists, any of the financial people, any of the psychologists, the sociologists. Everybody's singing on the same songbook. Nobody's producing any decent research about it. They're producing a lot of stuff saying, yeah, black people are angry and we feel this. They're using lots of phony baloney numbers that don't have any basis in reality. We talked about the worst case of that, where when they talk about how black people and white people use the same amount of drugs. And you go, well, how do you know that? Well, we asked. Well, it turns out that's a thing. Self-reporting is a thing. And self-reporting among black people, that's in the research. And this is, I get into detail in this and don't make the black kids angry. Self-reporting among black people is a thing. It's a deceptive thing. Yet still we see stories like this about black people attacking and raping old women. And people just shrug their shoulders and go, boy, Colin, I've never heard that before. Did you hear that reporter say that? Well, I've never heard of anything like that before. No, that's because, you're screening it all out. You refuse to hear something like that. It's all over the damn news if you just keep your eyes open and look at it. And it's all over the damn news if you just keep your eyes open and your ears open and your mouth open and you tell your colleagues, start to report the truth about the central organizing feature of a large number of violence, murder, and rape in this country. Yes, I don't even care if that makes the black kids angry.